Hello and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be working on determine if a string halves are alike. And in this one you're given a string of even length, split the string into two halves, and let A be the first half and B be the second half. Two strings are alike if they have the same number of vowels, so they can be lower and uppercase, and return true if they're alike, otherwise return false. So for the first one, for book, if you split it in half, there is an O in each one, so there's one vowel and one vowel. Then for the second one, it's text and book, and in the left one there's one vowel. In the right one there's two vowels. So this is a relatively simple problem, just checking if you know how to check for vowels in a string and do it reasonably efficiently, right? So you should be able to do this in O of n, where you just look through your string ideally, and also ideally you don't want to make a copy of the string, you want to just be able to traverse it. So pretty straightforward one. Let's just kind of walk through it, and let's actually have an array with indices to show this. So let's just say we have a string of 10 characters, and let's just say we have A, B, C, E, B, and let's say all vowels, or something simple like A, E, E. So basically what you want to do is you first want to store your vowels in a set. You could just make a string, but it's more efficient to store them in a set, and you could either store only lowercase vowels or all of the vowels and convert your strings to lowercase. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to convert as I go. I'm just going to convert each character to lowercase and then check if it's in my set. But you could also store upper and lowercase characters in our set. So we'll have a set of characters A, B, C, D, E, or not A, B, C, D, E, A, E, I, O, U, lowercase. And basically what we're going to do is we're just going to do a one pass here. And the way to do a one pass is pretty straightforward. You figure out what's the length of your string. So in this case, it is 10. Divide it by 2, you get 5. And now you know your first string is going to go from 0 to whatever this number is minus 1. So 5 minus 1, which is 4. So your first string is going to go from 0 to 4. And your next string is going to go from whatever this is to the length of the string minus 1. So 5 to 9. So you can just have an index I. Let me show this. So we'll have an index I over here. I will be 0. And you can basically loop through your string and you check two indices. You check index I, and then you check index I plus this half thing, right? So plus half. So in the beginning, you will be at 0 and 5, and you just check both of those. And you just have two simple variables. So you have a left and a right variable, and you will just add appropriately. If your character is a vowel and it's in here, you will just add appropriately. So what's going to happen here is we have two vowels. So we have a vowel on the left, so we will add a vowel to the left. We have a vowel on the right, we'll add a vowel to the right. And we will move our pointer, right? So we'll just increment I, in which case we will increment I. And like I said, we're going to be checking I and I plus this half. So it's going to be I plus 5. So then we check again. Vowel, there's no vowel here. There's a vowel here. So this will be 2. Then we keep going. So we have no vowel and a vowel, so this will be 3. And you keep going. Basically what's going to happen is you're going to check these other two vowels, and at the end you will have 2 vowels in the left and 5 vowels in the right. Right? Because the right section was going to go through all of this, which is 5 vowels, and the left section is going to go all of this, which is 2 vowels. Then you just simply check, is my count equal of both of them? That way you just have a set of vowels. We're not cutting the string in half. You don't really want to cut the string in half because that's going to be extra space. You wanted to choose correct indexing. Alternatively, if this is a little confusing, you can just loop twice. The first loop will loop from, like I said, 0 to a half, and then the second loop will loop through the rest, store that in 2 different variables, and compare those. And that's pretty much it. So we can code it up. So we're going to get a half, and this is guaranteed to be even length, so we can just say half equals length of s divided by 2. So we'll get some number. It's always going to be an integer because this will always even. Then we're going to have our set of vowels. Like I said, you can either have all vowels or lowercase. So I'll just have only lowercase. And you can give it a string. So you can just say A, E, I, O, U here. You could do this another way. You could do ASCII values or something, but this is fine. Then you have a left and a right. So left equals 0, right equals 0. And finally, we can just loop through our characters and do this. So for I in range, remember we're going to loop from 0 to the half. And we're going to check index I and index I plus half. Index I plus half will be the right side, and then the I will be the left side. So we can say, and we can even write this in more compact code, but we'll just write it kind of a simple way. So we'll say if si in vowels, so if it's a vowel, we'll just increment left. And if si plus half in vowels, let's increment right. And I did forget one more thing. Remember, these characters can be upper and lowercase, so we'll just convert here. So I don't want to convert the string to lowercase, which is something you could do as well, but you generally don't want to modify input. So you could convert the whole string to lowercase beforehand instead of doing this. That'll also be fine. Or like I said, you could have all uppercase characters here and not have this lower operation. Either one's fine. Yeah, and then we just return is left equal to right. And we can test that. So let's take a look. And there we go. And our solutions are all kind of close. You just run it a bunch of times. Like this isn't, it's not super important what your runtime is as long as it's like somewhere in this range. It's not very consistent. If I actually show my submissions here, you can see that it's all over the place. Except for Java's faster, but yeah, Python all over the place. So yeah, so runtime here is just going to be O of n because we are just looping through the string one time. Yeah, because basically we're looping through half the string, but then in each one we have 2 operations, so it's going to be like half the string times 2, pretty much. And space, and either way, even if we were looping only through half the string, that would still be O of n. So space is going to be O of 1 because we avoided like cutting the string in half. There's like a billion ways you could do this problem, honestly. You can do a counter for the left and the right, and any kind of like this is going to be O of 1, or a counter of characters is also going to be O of 1, because if it's only upper and lowercase characters, there's only 56, no matter how long your string is, it can be a billion. So one other way is you could do a counter, and then for every character, for every value, you can just check like, is the value the same? That's like another way. This is kind of straightforward, or like I said, you can break this down to 2 loops. One will check the left, one will check the right, but this is how you do both of them in one pass. And yeah, kind of a simple one, so hopefully you like this one, and if you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.